Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher with some information to help liberate you, to free you, hopefully, from your ignorance. And for those of you that already know this information and are familiar with this information, it will hopefully allow you to become more waxed in it or more strong. If you look at the title, I want you to think about it and answer the question before you watch the rest of this video. Do you respect nature? Real simple question. Do you that I'm talking to, you that are listening to me, do you respect nature? What do I mean by this? Comprehend this. What are you? What are we? We are human beings. Our bodies, our physiology is biological. We come from the earth. Many elements found in our bodies, all of the elements for that matter, found in our bodies, is in the earth. Minerals and vitamins in the earth are in here. There is oxygen, air that we breathe every day. It's in the universe, we breathe it. 75% of our bodies is water. It's on the earth. We have a temperature of almost 100 degrees, so there's fire within us. We come from the earth. Doesn't it stand to reason that if we come from the earth, the things that we need are from the earth as well? Really just answer that for you. So if that be true, if that be the case, why are we putting all of these things that are not good for our bodies, our physiology? Why are we putting them in our bodies? In other words, chemicals that are made in a laboratory, in a factory, synthetic materials, artificial materials, we are ingesting and we're injecting those things in our bodies. It was never intended to be so. Yes, it was never intended to be that way. Let me tell you something. For those that are watching my videos, there are going to be haters or trolls. There are going to be those that are going to just hate the mere fact that I am presenting any form of truth. It doesn't matter. You really don't count. The people that count are the people who really care about their general and specific health and that of their families, their longevity, and a good quality of life. Everybody else, it doesn't matter, because you're always going to have negativity. You're always going to have someone throwing shade. You're always going to have someone that's going to try to be adverse to what you're saying, even though you can prove what you're saying. These people don't care if you can prove it or not. They have already decided in their spirit, within their person, that they don't want to accept the truth, because the truth makes you have to compromise who you have been for so long, even if it's better for you or good for you. That's just the way it is. Now, I'm going to point out a few things, and there are many other things that can be associated with this particular subject on do you respect nature. But I want you to really think about this. I'm not trying to be religious. I am a spiritual man, I believe, as we all should be. One thing that is for certain, we're all going to die one day. What's after that? As it relates to the spiritual side, now you can answer that question whether or not we are spiritual. So now, here are a few things that I'm going to mention to you that you need to consider when you want to lose weight. Why are we taking pills and having doctors perform surgery on our bodies, shortening our stomach, gastric bypass, whatever you want to call it nowadays, when how you gained weight, if you do the opposite of what you did to gain the weight, with some exercise and proper diet, you will lose the weight. That's nature. Did you gain the weight simply by taking chemicals and having surgery? No, you did not. You gained the weight because you were not educated on the proper way to eat and the things that you should eat, and you didn't have self-control for the most part, and you did not exercise on a regular basis, as most animals in nature are always doing. That's number one. Number two, women wearing makeup. Nothing wrong with wearing makeup. I'm going to tell you that. I have daughters that wear makeup. Sometimes they overdo it. But understand this, I learned a proverb a long time ago. A pretty woman needs no paint. Sometimes it might be a self-esteem issue. Sometimes it might be a social issue. Sometimes it just might be a fad and or a style. Something that they're just investigating or just trying out for the moment. Sometimes it's a regular thing. It's a routine. It's a custom with a lot of women doing that, wearing makeup. Nothing wrong with it. But sometimes they overdo the makeup. And have you ever considered some of the chemicals that are in the makeups that's bad for your skin? Your skin is part of your immune system, your tegumentary system. It's the largest artery on the body, not in the body, but on the body. Your skin is. It has to breathe. It has bacteria in it. It has oil in it to protect you from the outside elements. When you're clogging up the pores, you're going to have pimples, you're going to have blemishes, you're going to have all types of things going on, and that's going to compromise your immune system in your skin, that is. Have you thought about that? So unless you're not eating, but unless you are putting makeup on that's biologically made with friendly materials that come from the earth, you should probably reconsider putting on your usual cosmetics containing all of the other things that shouldn't be there, to include the fragrances that are made again in laboratories. Next thing, acid reflux. Where does acid reflux come from? Heartburn. We're still talking about the title. Do you respect nature? Food doesn't hurt. I'm going to pause for a second. Food does not hurt human beings. If you're eating food, anytime your food is altered with other things, genetically modified things, preservatives, colors, dyes, artificial flavors and enhancers and so forth, preservatives, it stands to reason that your body's going to not recognize that, and your body's going to respond in a defensive manner. A stomach ache, burning inside from eating food, it means that you did not eat food, or part of the food that you've eaten contains something that's not supposed to be there. But we're going to run and get some Rolaids, some Tums, and various other over-the-counter types of things to kill that acid reflux. You're supposed to have acid in your stomach, ladies and gentlemen, to break down your food, right? So why are you destroying the acid by adding these other chemicals? Why don't you get to the root of the cause? What's causing the acid reflux? Have you ever investigated? Have you ever stopped or paused to consider, so maybe I'm eating the wrong thing. Maybe there's something in the foods that I eat. No, you haven't done it, and most of you don't do it because guess what? You'd rather enjoy the taste of what you're eating as opposed to be concerned about the after effect, if you will. That's the way most people operate. It tastes so good, but it hurts so bad. Stop putting chemicals in your body that you don't need and that are not friendly to your body. I'll let you kind of muddle through these things as I continue on, and I'll be done in a second. The next thing is pain medication. It's the same difference. Pain medication. I have a headache. Oh, let's take an aspirin. Let's take a Tylenol. Let's take some ibuprofen. All of these things are not good for your body. They mess with your organs. They mess with your liver, which is your poison center, naturally. They also mess with the lining of your stomach. Have you ever heard of ulcers? A lot of ulcers oftentimes come from or as a result of taking chemically made, synthetically made medication. Our medicine comes from nature because we are nature. But guess what? The industries can't make money off of us eating the right fruits and vegetables and herbs and plants and so forth. They can't make millions of dollars off of that. So they have to create something called medicine to cover up the symptoms so we can feel good just for a moment. But oftentimes, the medication that they prescribe for us causes another side effect, and then they give us another medication for that side effect, and that has a different side effect, and they give us medication for that side effect. And ultimately, we keep down this path of ill health as a result of pharmaceutical drugs. And then some point in time, they're going to say, hey, we see a spot on your liver. We see a spot on your lungs. We see a mass. We see a cyst. We see a fibroid. Do you think it just came from you living? No, it's the result of the chemicals that you're putting in your body that you should not be putting there in the first place, because we are biology. The things that we put in our bodies and on our bodies should be biological as well. How is it and why is it that no animal in nature gets cancer? They don't have heart disease. They don't have lung disease. They don't have arthritis in nature. They don't. Domestic animals might, because they eat the same things we eat in our homes. Things that were made similar to for us, they eat and consume. But in their natural habitat, where they came from, their place of origin, nature has provided for them, and they know what nature is. Why is it that we don't? Or at least we don't behave or act as though we do. Now, acid reflux, I've talked about that. Pain medication, women wearing makeup, weight loss pills and so forth, surgery. Now, male impotence. IBS? No, that's irritable bowel syndrome. No, I'm talking about when a male is impotent. Are you guys out there having problems getting it up? Can't get an erection or hold an erection? Guess what? A few reasons why. Only a few reasons why. One of them is medication. You could be taking medication that's affecting you having a proper erection. What if you're stressed? What if you have anxiety? What if you are emotionally distraught? What if you're going through some things emotionally because of your relationship with a certain individual? What if you are between jobs? What if you have anything going on emotionally and you can't focus? Do you think you're going to get an erection? So that has a lot to do with it as well. You ever heard a woman say, I'm not in the mood? Sometimes you're not in the mood, but you want to try to pretend you're going to perform as though you are. But there's things sometimes resting in your subconscious mind that's keeping you from focusing on the act at hand or the potential act. So it's very psychological. Now, the other one and the last one is your diet, hydration, blood flow. Are you eating processed foods on a regular basis? That can affect you having a good erection, man. Not enough water. Water is the best blood thinner in the world, on the planet. Water is. I know guys take Viagra's, they take male impotence type of pills and Cialis and all of those other things. But do you really need it, or is it just simply because you watch the commercial and you see it advertised and you think you're going to be much better? Sometimes these can be more harmful than good. But it's your proper diet. Plenty of vegetables. Plenty of sleep. That has a whole lot to do with it as well. Plenty of hydration. Proper minerals and vitamins in your diet, and not the junk food. And alcohol can also stop you from having a proper erection, man, and sustaining that erection. Now, I'll leave that subject. And this is not taboo. We're grown people here talking. At least I'm talking to you. And I would imagine that it's grown people listening to me and processing this information. Let's get to the last one. And as I said before, there are other ones, but these are some of the key ones that came to me. Breastfeeding for the women. Do you breastfeed your children? Every mammal in nature breastfeeds their offspring. Why do women have such a hard time? And God bless all of you all that do breastfeed. When my daughter told me she was breastfeeding, I like to did a flip. You know why? That's what your breasts are for. That's what your mammary glands are for. To feed your babies. But we would run to a Kroger store, we will run to a grocery store, and we will buy a carton of, a pack of, a can of Similac and Enfamil and all of these other chemically produced artificial baby formulas. And I did say formula, made in a laboratory. Nothing replaces a mom's breast milk, providing that the mother has a proper diet. If mom is a drug addict, she's putting a whole lot of chemicals in her body because she's smoking a lot and she's drinking alcohol a lot. Of course, that's going to affect her fetus. Of course, that's going to affect her baby. So don't blame it on anyone else but yourself if that's the lifestyle that you're living. But under ordinary, normal situations and circumstances, if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing as a mother, a responsible mother, you're going to eat properly, you're going to get plenty of rest, you're going to even do a little exercise while you're pregnant, and you're going to drink plenty of water. Put good things in, and that's going to be the outcome as it relates to you having your baby being healthy. Stop putting these chemicals in your baby's body. Now, there's going to be a doctor that's going to say, well, because of this situation and that situation, we're going to advise that you do this and so forth, and here's a sample package of Similac or whatever. They're going to do that. They're paid to do that. There's somebody on the back end making money every single time. Every product that's sold to you because you're not doing what nature tells you, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your children. It's going to hurt your family down the road. Now, I don't feel the unction to go any further. I think I've said enough. But I will ask you the question again. Do you respect nature? If you respect nature, you will also think about this. Nature gave us an immune system that was designed to fight off viruses, bacteria, fungus, and various other things. Are you consciously aware of what this is and how great this thing is, this body, this beautiful organism that was created by the Almighty? Are you consciously aware of how powerful it is? Of course it's weak, but it's strong as well, provided that you take care of it. If you take care of it, it will take care of you. It will take care of us. So, in conclusion, we know that we're faced with a so-called pandemic. You know what I'm talking about. You know the name of it. Are you going to take the vaccine? Ask yourself the question. Is it natural? Base word nature. Do you respect nature? Are you doing your part to keep this nature healthy by not smoking, drinking alcohol, excessive alcoholic behavior, chewing tobacco, eating a whole lot of processed things? You get what I'm saying. If that's not you, then you should be relatively healthy. Your body will take care of itself if you take care of it and you allow it to take care of itself. So, I've asked this question before. When you go to the doctor and they say, we're going to administer this vaccination to you, are you ready for the vaccination, or however they present it to you? You be strong enough, take a deep breath, stand on your square, and you ask them, What's in the vaccine? Can you give me a list of all of the ingredients and tell me what those ingredients are and what the ramifications of taking those ingredients into my biological temple? And I'll consider, and I do mean consider, taking the vaccination, other than you just telling me that it's going to help me. Or, doctor, you can give me a list of those ingredients contained in here, and then I'll go home. I'll take about a week or two, and I'll do my own due diligence, my own research, and I'll find out what those ingredients are. You don't even have to tell them all of this. No one has a right to tell you to put anything in your body that you don't want to put in your body. Every last human being on this planet is an individual. We're independent. You must believe that you are. I'm sitting here talking to you. I don't have 15 people stapled to me or attached to me because I am my own person. I'm sovereign. You should be sovereign as well. As well. What does sovereign mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means that you have the ability to make your own decisions. That's all it simply means. You are your own person. I don't mean that in a legal sense. I mean that in a righteous and in a lawful sense. That's the way we were all created. That's why we are all, as individuals, held accountable for what we do in our lives. That's what sovereignty is. It's being your own person and having the ability to make your own decisions for yourself. It's that simple. And I'm not talking about a sovereign citizen. That's a cult. I'm not talking about that. So, with that said, when anyone tells you for the betterment of all or the betterment of you, take this drug, and they don't fully disclose what's in the drug and what the drug could possibly do to you in a harmful way, you need to question that all the time. You get what I'm saying? This is not rocket science. This is not complicated what I'm saying to you. And if you are going to jump out there and be the guinea pig and have someone stick something in your body that you know nothing of, and you don't even know the individual that's administering that, why do you put your hands, or your life I should say, in the hands of someone else? At best, this is foolish. And I'm trying to be nice and not say it's stupidity, but it really is. Somewhere down the road, 6 months, a year, 2 years, you may come up with a condition. You may come up with some form of cancer. You could fall dead as a result of taking something that you know nothing about. I'm just trying to get you to think. That's it. It doesn't mean I don't care about you, because I do. For those of you that will listen, ask yourself the question again. Do I respect nature? Thank you. It was a pleasure being here. I wish you much success in your lives. May Yahweh bless you and keep you and yours. He loves you, and Brother Teacher loves you. So long.